Billy got it bumping.
Leg drop, boot to the face, we won't fold. Put a dude in this place, he out cold. With a tombstone, grapple the waist, get laid flat. Can't escape, nowhere to go, the cage match. It's on now, when I spot him, it's no problem. Everybody stone cold till they hit with the rock bottom. Sharpshooter, I won't miss him like Bret Hart. Like Al Snow, they gon' need him a head start. I just might catch a better body than Mickey James. Get acquainted with the name, we bringin' the pain. Like Kane in the ring, all I see is red. Paul era, Undertaker, I can see the dead. John Cena putting hands in your face. 10 DBS, keep a milli on the waist. B2TF, better stay in your place or get smacked down, play it safe. What you talking about?
Welcome to another episode of Boot to the Face, powered by FullPressCoverage.com. Go there for all your sporting wants and needs, but mainly go there for the sport of professional wrestling, which we will be covering today. Myself, Chris Rucker, along with E.J. Reed here on YouTube and all your favorite podcasting platforms. E.J., how you doing?
Man, I'm feeling good, feeling great. How about yourself?
I'm a little weary, a little tired. Got
How
back from a
come?
long weekend out in Las Vegas.
You're home away from home, huh?
That's what they say. I've already booked my WrestleMania room.
Damn, you on it, man.
Well, with gambling and shit like that, I always use my little card. And then if I go out and eat anywhere, it's like we went to that steak dinner and I had $150 comp. So that dinner was free for me. Like I just had to get the guy to ring up a drink or something and be able to tip him. But I always use that thing. Like the misconception is you got to spend a lot of money in order to get the comps. You really don't. You just got to kind of use the card a little bit here and there and they'll send you shit. And so they sent me another free room available up until the end of April. I went in there and booked it. I was hoping it would be Mandalay Bay or MGM, but it was Excalibur, which is fine because that's connected to Luxor and Mandalay Bay, which is connected basically to the fucking stadium. So I'm cool with that. I'll just have a long walk when I get out of Allegiant. But yeah, the WrestleMania room is booked and I don't have to pay for it.
No wonder why you picked that expensive ass restaurant.
I picked it, but they wanted to do a steak dinner. They wanted to go to a nice place, which is weird, right? Because everybody showed up not dressed nice, even though they all said, let's go to a nice place. Motherfuckers in shorts and basketball jerseys.
Speak for them. I was dressed appropriately.
But yeah, man, it was a good time. It was a real good time. I had a lot of fun, drank a little too much, maybe.
You got there a day before I got there. Did you go straight to the hotel? You got there kind of late. You got there like 8 or 9 or what, right?
Yeah, I got there it was a little after almost 10, and Jason and Tommy had already been there. Tom pulled in a little later than I did. I got there, checked into the hotel, kind of wandered around, and immediately went to the roulette table and went from fucking $300 to $1,500. So took my chips and went back up to the room. Tom called me. We went and got some pizza on Fremont Street, and then the next day we all just kind of met up and went for it.
Yeah, man. I didn't realize you went up that much right on off the plane and whatnot.
Yeah, I did the first night. I was like, oh shit. And I was like, well, I don't have to worry about like anything. Like I got enough money to gamble the rest of the weekend, even if I do bad, because I don't ever put a lot out there to begin with. Like I took $500 with me, and I think the most I ever put in at one time was like 300. And if I lose that, I'm like, all right, I'm walking away. Like it ain't my day. The ball ain't falling for me or whatever. But I didn't really lose much. I just kept winning, and when I did lose, it wasn't enough to get me to stop because I had won so much. So yeah, it was fun.
So when I got there Friday, and right off the plane, they're like, where you at? We gotta go eat. I'm like, man, I just got off the plane. Side note, it's supposed to be a guy's trip, but I had my girl with me. She never been to Vegas, and the last 2 trips I went without her. So kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, but whatever.
In fairness about the trip, about the steak dinner, I put in the chat like weeks ahead of time when I made that reservation and was like, we got to be on time. And nobody, including you, EJ, said I might be a little late.
I don't even remember you putting it at the specific time. You may have. I might have just because that chat always had something going on and be going off at work. So
yeah, I put in there like dinner's at 7. Don't you Negroes embarrass me and be late. That was my last quote about it. So most people showed up at like 6:30. I didn't know you was just getting off the plane though. I thought you were already there.
When do you put that text in about the time?
I don't know. I took a screenshot of it.
It's the gist. You don't have to give me the exact date, but was it like within the past week or 2?
Oh no, this was when we were there, I think, because I wanted to let everybody know like we got to be there on time. Let's see.
Okay, so well, my plane was booked like a month ago, so there's nothing I can do about that anyway.
It was Friday at 7 something. Actually, it was like 6:30 Friday. So the day of, I said, cool. Again, we got to be on time, Negroes. Don't embarrass me. So, but it's all good. It is what it is. It was fun because when we were waiting, we were kind of joking around with the manager and the lady up front. So they held our table for us too, which is weird, right? They held the table, but they wouldn't seat us. Like, if you're gonna hold the table and leave the table in the middle of the restaurant wide the fuck open, just let us sit down. We can order some drinks and wait for them to get. I guess they don't want you to be there like 3 hours waiting on somebody.
How it is with those fancy restaurants and whatnot. But
good dinner though.
Yeah, it was a good ass steak. Mine was pretty much cooked to perfection. For some reason they overcooked my girlfriend's steak, maybe because she's white and table for the black dudes. I don't know. but I digress.
She don't know about flavor. Let's make sure we get their shit right. We don't want them bitching at us.
I had the ribeye. I think you had the filet.
Yeah, the filet mignon was really good. Really good. Now this thing's jumping around. God damn. I don't know what's happening. Like, there's something on my backstage information here, everybody. There's something going on with my sound to where my sound keeps jumping up and down. First it's got to be Streamlabs, Google Meets, because first it was my microphone doing it, and now I switched to my audio mixer, and now my audio mixer's doing it. So
yeah. We're still working on some of the kinks, but we'll get it straight. After dinner, we went to the casino, and you and our boy Jason Brown was playing. And how'd that go?
It went good. I don't remember if I won or lost a lot that night. I remember I was doing well, and I was letting other people make bets for me. Like, I let your girlfriend make a bunch. I let Tom make one, and my rule with that is if I start getting drunk and start like telling people to pick numbers. But if you win, your number hits, then I just give you the money and let you play. But nobody won.
See what you did there.
I will say I don't give you all the money because like I was betting $5 on a number and it was 35 to 1, so it's like 175. So Tom actually one night we were playing, his number hit, so I gave him $100 and I kept 75 of it, and he played with that. But yeah, I would, if I'm doing well and everybody's like sitting around watching, I'll be like, hey, who wants to fucking pick a number? Because I mean, I'm having fun, but I don't know how much fun everybody's having standing around watching me play, you know?
I mean, it is kind of fun watching people play because if they win money, it's our money. I'm just kidding.
Right. They got the limo after. Then we did the limo after that, and y'all went on y'all's way, and we did the limo, and that was a lot of fun. They came late, so they actually just refunded me today like $65 of it because they were late and had to put us in a different. They actually upgraded the limo that we ordered. So I don't understand why they were so apologetic about it, because they were 20 minutes late. I was like, I don't give a fuck, man. We're in Vegas. Like, relax. But the guy was, I will say this, Our limo driver was not good. He's like some big meathead Italian dude from Jersey, and he didn't know where he was going at all. Like everything was just like a hassle. We were supposed to get dropped off at a strip club. He took us to one that was closed, like permanently. I'm like, bro, how long you been here? But all in all, it was fun. He took us to the Vegas sign, and he was like, all right, if you guys want to go get in line, I'll go park and do this, that, and the third. I'm like, get in line. We just walked up to the front, and some woman up there had a light, and she was like, you want us to take the picture for you? She took a really good picture for us too. Why?
Hey, I think you have it on social media, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. At least took a good picture. Yeah. Friday night we went to a nighttime pool party. It's my first time going to a nighttime run. It's pretty dope. I got way too drunk. Woke up the next day. I had a friend, Black Ice Tom. He hit me up and was like, y'all going to breakfast or brunch? I'm like, I guess so. But I thought everybody was going to be meeting there. It was just him. I'm like, where's everybody else? He's like, I don't know. And I still don't really know what everybody was up to on Saturday, because everybody kind of did their thing. What was you up to most of Saturday?
Saturday morning, I changed hotels. I was staying at Circa downtown, and I changed from Circa to Mandalay Bay. So I got up, got my shit together, took me an Uber over there, and I was kind of feeling the night before, so I just kind of laid in the bed a lot. Like, I don't even think I had breakfast on Saturday. No, that's a lie. I went and got breakfast at Mandalay Bay at their little restaurant upstairs. I went and got some eggs and bacon and shit like that, and then came back and laid down, tried to take a nap. But the people next door to me sound like a bunch of gym bros in there at like 10 a.m. just fucking loud. They got music playing, and it's like, I can't say shit. It's Vegas. Like, what am I going to tell them? Be quiet? Like, I'm the one sleeping during non-sleeping hours, but they were loud as fuck for like 4 hours straight. Luckily, I think they checked out that day because I didn't hear them again. But I was trying to nap the majority of the time, and then we all met up for dinner and went back out again. So it was a good time. I don't remember all the particulars of everything, but I just know I laughed my ass off. It was fun.
Where'd y'all eat dinner?
We went to this place called Ocean One in Planet Hollywood. I recommend anybody that's going to Vegas on a budget to go there, because we got there before lunch was over, and everything they had was $5.99. You get an entree, it's $5.99. You get appetizer, it's $5.99. So I got 3 chicken tacos and a Caesar salad, and then you can do 3 for $12 cocktails. So you either get like a specialty cocktail they got, or you could just do a Jack and Coke. Like, but it's 3 for $12. You don't have to drink 3 of them, but they're going to charge you $12 when you order one, and you get 2 more if you want it. So I think my bill was like $27 for everything I got, and I had my 3 drinks.
Deal right there.
Yeah, and it's good food too. It's not like the food is bad. Like you think. I don't know why it's so cheap. I think dinner's like $9.99 an entree, but like last time I went, I had steak, and I was thinking this steak's gonna be whack. The steak was fucking good. It wasn't filet mignon from Adiamo Steakhouse, but it was fucking passable for $10.
That's what's up. Yeah. After we did brunch, we decided. Well, Tom went back on his way, and we offered him to stay out, but he's like, nah. We went to Dre's during the daytime. It was like noon, and Dre's is like one of the only places that's like straight like urban hip hop. All the other pool parties you go to during the day, it's like EDM vibe, but it's a hip hop vibe. So it was lit in there, and we were drunk, of course. And then all of a sudden, they're like, "Everybody, welcome to the stage, Big Sean." I'm like, "What?" I didn't know he was coming out, because we saw signs, but we thought it was like a nighttime thing. He just came out during the day, started performing, and Kevin Durant was in the building. They kept mentioning him.
Go to a pool party at? Was it your hotel?
No, it was Dre's. Is the Cromwell.
I never even thought to look up a pool party in Vegas.
That's like my when I first started going to Vegas, that's like I was introduced to like the Vegas scene. It's like the daytime pool parties, get drunk and get drunk as shit. It's like a basically like a club, all of them. Like you got MGM, what's it? Web Republic at MGM, you got Marquee. It's a bunch of them around.
Every time I've been to the MGM pool, it's never I mean, it's a shitload of people out there, but it's never like a DJ and shit like that. It's just alcohol and water.
Yeah, that's like
With music.
that's like the hotel pool. These are like designated like name. They got names for them, and they happen to be at the hotels as well. What's the one that's side of Venetian? That's a good Tao. You got Tao too. Yeah, you got to pay to get in. It's like basically like a daytime club.
What's the going rate for those?
It's not bad. It's like $30 to get in.
But you got to buy drinks when you get in?
No, you don't have to.
I mean, if you want drinks, it's not like a
you
get 2 drinks.
Oh yeah, you got to buy it, and they tax you. But like back when I was just spending money just to spend it, we used to buy like these ridiculously priced tables like when I was 23, 24, and was just working. It's ungodly amount of price, and we would just split it only between 3 of us. It'd be like 5,000 plus to get a cabana out there. Stupid. Just wasting money for no reason.
Just to sit at the pool.
No, but there's benefits of doing that because you got people, young ladies that want to sit at your cabana and drink the alcohol and whatnot. So that's the benefit. But
we gotta come to a consensual agreement before you allowed to sit under this cabana. Like, yeah. I'm giving you shade, you giving me fun.
And you can sniff out the ones that were just trying to drink the alcohol and leave. But I digress. Dre's was fun, and then we went to drunkenly walking around. We went to the Venetian. I know you've been to the Venetian. You don't really like the strip like that, but the Venetian is the one, and it's connected with the Palazzo, and they have the big mall thing in the middle of it with the sky ceiling and whatnot. And so we just ate in the food court. We didn't even eat like a formal dinner. And then we went back to the hotel, and my girlfriend was tired and she didn't really feel like doing anything like that. And then that's when I met up with y'all, and we hit the speakeasy up. I don't know how y'all found it, but that's where this story collides when I finally met up with y'all at the speakeasy Saturday night and whatnot.
We left dinner and we were playing roulette at, I want to think it was the Luxor, and I was killing it. And so I just went and started playing because they all stayed outside because, some of the people in our group like to partake in math that ends in 420, right? And why they stayed outside, I don't know, because people were just walking around smoking, but they stayed outside. So I was like, I got to go take a leak. And I went to the bathroom, didn't see them anywhere. So I was like, shit, they can come find me. I'll be at the table. They already know where to find me at. So I went to the roulette table. I started hitting. So Jason came. He started playing. Tom came. He lost his money, went and got more. And he came back and wore their asses out. I'm talking, he was probably up like $1,000, I think, when he cashed out. And he wasn't even paying attention. He was sitting there. There was another truck driver at our table, and him and Tom were sitting there talking, and Tom's just throwing chips out there, steady fucking hitting. Like, he hit at least twice where I don't even think he knew. The lady had to, like, push the chips for. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. And then once he counted up and realized how far he was up, he's like, shit, I got my money back. I'm done. Tommy doesn't gamble or drink or anything, so he went wandering around the strip. So when we got done, we were going to go back. The plan was we were going back to my room at Mandalay Bay because Jason's phone needed a charge, and I have a Beats charger that would have worked on his phone. So we're walking back through the little corridor, and I look over, and I see this girl sitting there in like a red evening gown type mini dress, but she's sitting there on the side of the fucking thing, and I look behind her, and I'm like, Prohibition, whatever. I was like, that looks like a fucking speakeasy. So I go over there. I was like, what happens if I push this fucking thing? She was like, it opens. I was like, you're a damn lie. So I looked at I looked at Tom and Jason behind me, and they both looking at me because they don't know what's going on. And I pushed it open, and you can see everything behind it, and both of their jaws dropped. Like, what the fuck is this? So we went in there, man, and it was such a good time. Like, they had a live guy playing piano. And then they had a burlesque dancer that came out like every 30 minutes and did her little strip tease. The drinks were fucking phenomenal. I had a peanut butter and jelly old fashioned, which was really good. And then it was like a maple bacon old fashioned I had. Then I just got a regular one. And I think the fourth one I got is what did me in. when we were on our way back to, I don't even know where we were going. We left there, and some kind of way I got separated from y'all, and something in my head was like, it's time for you to take your ass to bed.
No, this is exactly what happened. After we left there, he was like, I'm hungry. I'm going to find some food. And then you just started walking. I'm like, hey, well, hold up. And you just kept walking. I'm like, man, we ain't going to see him for the rest of the night.
That's what happened. I was on my way to my room, and there was a little like shop right there. I went there and bought a big ass bag of Doritos, some fucking little pepperoni and cheese sticks, like the pepperoni that's wrapped. I think I can't remember the name of them, and a big ass thing of water and Gatorade. And I went and sat in my room with my eyes closed for like 20 minutes, eating Doritos, fucking brushed my teeth, put my liners back in. I woke up the next day with a bad taste in my mouth and a hangover, but it was a good time.
After you did that, Jason only stuck around for like another 10 minutes or so, and then he went back. It was just me, your brother, and Tom just hanging out. We hung out for like another hour or so. We went up to your brother's room, telling us stories about the military and him winning money, gambling. Took some shots.
Yeah.
Good time.
That's what he told me. He said he was telling y'all he was going to get a drink. And I think he said one of y'all was like, well, shit, let us come get a drink too. He said y'all was up there till like 3. I was like, damn, what time did I leave?
Maybe probably more so like 2-ish.
Yeah.
Maybe 1. But
and
yeah,
him and my uncle and my stepdad were there too. And then them 3 went out to IHOP at like 4 a.m. because my uncle was like, I don't want to pay $30 for a burger, and he had a car there. So they got in the fucking car and drove to IHOP around the corner. I'm like, driving in Vegas just doesn't seem like something. It seems like more of a hassle. I'd rather just take a fucking Uber. But shout out to Tom, because Tom drove us a lot of places and saved us a lot of money with his non-driving ass.
He took my black ass home. He's got a nice whip too.
Yeah,
new whip.
Was he treating you like you were poor when you were in there, like he was doing us? Like he kept trying to get the seat to start massaging you and shit and turning the air on it.
Yeah,
I'm
he
like,
did
man,
all,
just drive. Quit fucking with stuff.
He did all of that, but it was more discreet. He didn't really make a big deal about it.
Probably because he got tired of us talking shit about him for it. We were talking to the bartender. Like, you ever been around a friend that got money and they want to throw it in your fucking face? That's this nigga right here. But
pretty much.
It was a good time, man. It was a really good time. I'm glad we all went. I watched no wrestling while I was there. I just kept up with, but I mean, the only thing I really missed was SmackDown. I don't consider missing Collision missing anything because I hardly ever watch it anyway.
But like the SmackDown though,
huh?
Collision is like the SmackDown.
Yeah, but SmackDown's actually good.
Hey man, I mess with Collision for some reason.
I ain't watched Collision since my boy Phil left.
That's a damn lie.
It ain't been shit since CM Punk ain't been there. Shit. I can't wait till he come back to Monday Night Raw. So Drew can whip that ass.
We'll see. I didn't watch any wrestling at all, not even SmackDown during the trip. I had to catch up with everything yesterday. Had it on in the background. I didn't have any hearings at work. So while I was doing my writing and whatnot, I had it on in the background and caught up with literally everything. SmackDown, Collision, I even threw Rampage on them and had that on in the background.
Does anything even happen on Rampage anymore?
Yeah, yes and no. They started the TNT tournament on Rampage. It's literally like WCW Saturday Night. Basically a bunch of squash matches.
Sunday Night Heat.
That too.
For the younger audience. Well, we can start way back last Monday. We recorded last Monday because we were both kind of busy throughout the rest of the week. You had some things going on, and so did I. So we recorded on Monday, and one of the things we talked about was Becky Lynch. Whether or not she would leave the company, her contract came up. My boy Roy Keller reports that she's not going to leave, that she's just taking a hiatus. But that can't. He didn't report that she wouldn't. He reported that the feeling was she was going to come back and people shouldn't worry about it. But she doesn't have a new contract signed, and they basically wrote her off of fucking TV and let my girl Liv Morgan beat her ass 2 times in a row. So honestly, I hope that she takes like a year and goes somewhere else. I think she could use it. I really do. I think the WWE fans have kind of it's almost like it's not quite where Cody was in AEW, but I think WWE fans have just like they see newer, shinier toys in the women's division in Becky, and she's kind of got the same gimmick that she's had the last like 4 or 5 years, besides that little heel run she had. And so I think she's kind of, I wouldn't say underappreciated or undervalued by the fans, but I think it's just kind of like, well, we already know what we getting over here. Like, we want to see this new shit with like Rhea and Bailey's got something going on, and just newer people, newer females. So her leaving and going somewhere else for like a year, just turning in good work, I think would be fun.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, it would be a good opportunity to kind of refresh yourself and make people miss you,
Yeah,
but
like, nobody gonna see you on AEW.
Whatever. I don't even know how to respond to that. but if you go somewhere a year, basically what the rumors say, so you can't believe that. You could take that with a grain of salt. Like you said, he kind of tried to hedge his bet. He's like, the feeling is just in case he's wrong, he'll say,
Well, no,
I said the feeling is.
This ain't, just to be clear, he ain't like Dave Meltzer. Like, Wade only reports stuff when he's got facts. He was literally recording his podcast and he was texting with somebody and he was like, they're telling me that the feeling is she's going to resign. He was like, I'm not reporting that she's resigning, but the feeling is she's not. So I wouldn't bet on her leaving. That's basically what he said. He hadn't actually reported whether she's leaving or staying. He's just saying the feeling backstage is they don't think she's going anywhere. She's just taking a hiatus.
I mean, that could be the original plan, but people change their minds.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I mean, it would be cool if she did some like independent dates and made her own schedule, kind of like Matt Cardona. I just don't really see her going to like a TNA, New Japan. That would be kind of like beside, like, it would like, I don't want to say cancel out your point, but it'd be almost counterproductive if she did New Japan because you'd be further away from your husband, and that's not an easy travel.
Well,
I'd say, what's that?
She pulled up on Jordan Grace this weekend for Jordan Grace's Open Challenge.
She did? Where was that at?
I said, what if she did?
Becky.
Yeah. Jordan Grace does that Open Challenge shit.
I thought that was supposed to be on NXT tonight.
No. On TNA, Jordan Grace is doing Open Challenges, and at the pay-per-view, I don't know if the pay-per-view, it can't be this week because she's wrestling NXT. She's supposed to have an Open Challenge at the pay-per-view. Now, I wouldn't be shocked if it was like somebody from NXT that pulls up and does it. Like, eventually WWE's got to start sending people to TNA instead of TNA just sending Jordan Grace. But I don't know. It'd be cool if Becky did just pull up in TNA, like, one shotter.
Maybe for literally a one-offer.
Yeah.
But if she planning on staying away, Trinity did like a year away. She basically just did TNA. I'm not sure if she did, the independent circuit.
Nah.
I say if she's not going to just pop up on Independence Day, why not take the bag from Tony Khan, less of a schedule, and he's going to pay you more or just as much as you made in WWE.
That's what I was thinking too. Like, you take that year off, you wouldn't be with your husband as much, but you'd also be working 1 day a week. Like, you literally fly into the town on Tuesday, fly out on Thursday, and you're back home the rest of the time. So you got basically 4.5, 5 days. You're just at home, less fucking wear and tear with the kid having to travel and shit like that. Like, I don't know. It just seems like a lighter schedule would do her well for a year. I'm sure a lighter schedule would do all of them well. And no telling what he would pay her. Like,
exactly.
And now I'm a big Mercedes fan, and it just ain't directed at her. This is, they got Ospreay there lately, and they got Okada there, and ratings haven't really gone through the roof. I think Becky is like, I think she would be a needle mover for them. I'm not saying she put them at like 100 or 1.5 million, but I think they probably would get over 1 million consistently if Becky was on TV.
Yeah, it might be a perfect storm. Her and Mercedes have some type of interaction, either if it's tagging or against each other, and that'll probably give you a nice little bump.
I honestly feel like the thing with Mercedes is because she did the New Japan thing and then got hurt and was gone for so long. Like, I feel like people were kind of tired of waiting.
And she's not that compelling on the mic. It's okay.
Yeah, but that's not what AEW does, though. AEW is where the best wrestle, not where the best talk.
Or when she didn't wrestle until like 2 weeks ago. So.
And that's another part of what I was saying too. Like, people were tired of waiting. Like, she was in AEW for like 2.5 months and didn't wrestle.
I think the appeal of why Becky would be able to bring viewers in is because she could talk. It is with the best wrestler, but people tuned in for CM Punk because they were compelled to see what he was going to say.
Well, that was also like, he had been gone for years and years and years, and all these people, fucking Punk marks, wanted him to come back for whatever reason. And when it was announced, well, it wasn't really announced, but when he was coming back, everybody had to see it. I don't think it was more about him being a good talker. I think it was more like he's been gone for 7 years and he's back. Like, people were like that with Edge too, and Edge was never good on the microphone.
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe the company still had the shiny new toy smell and look, because in 2022 they would, not every week do 1 million, but it'd be like in that high 800, 900 range, and then like once a month they pop that 1 million range. So I don't know if it was because of CM Punk and maybe to go along with Danielson and Cole, or if it was still just because it was an alternative product while Vince was still there.
Yeah,
but ain't no telling.
And speaking of Copeland, it was another thing we talked about on Monday was that jump he did off the top of the cage, and he ended up breaking his fibula doing that.
I told you it was stupid. Why is a 50-year-old man diving off the cage when he doesn't have to? The match would have been good regardless. He had Gangrel, and now look at him.
I don't know if it was so much stupid as it was if they wouldn't have had your boy wrapped up in the barbed wire, he probably could have did a splash or a legit elbow drop. Instead, because all that barbed wire was there, they were trying to be safe. But like landing on your feet, jumping off a fucking 20-foot steel cage is probably not the safest thing to do. So yeah, that sucks. Hopefully he's not out too long for the Edge fans, and who knows how long he's gonna still be around either. So yeah, get well soon, Adam Copeland.
Yeah. Godspeed. But he's stripped from the TNT title now, and they're gonna do another tournament. I guess that's AEW's calling card.
Well, technically, it's not a tournament.
No, what the hell is it?
There's qualifying matches to get into a ladder match.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
And Takeshita won his match on I can't even remember who he faced, but it was a pretty good match. It was on Rampage. They teased on this past Wednesday just to hand the belt over to Jungle Boy.
I think that would have been better than the ladder match.
I was gonna say, why didn't they just do that just to get heat? I wouldn't have been mad at that.
Yeah, Jungle Boy's probably gonna win it though. The Bucks
by nefarious means, probably.
Yeah, I mean the Bucks will probably just put him in the match. He won't have to qualify, and then he'll win.
Did they lay out the terms on how many people are supposed to be in it?
I don't think so. That I like Christopher Daniels when he was in SCU with Scorpio Sky and Kazarian, but I don't think he's like, he don't need a microphone every week as an authority figure. Like I just automatically tune out when he starts talking.
Yeah, I wasn't really a big Christopher Daniels fan to begin with.
Yeah. I wouldn't either. I was never a Fallen Angel guy. And then when he got in SCU, something worked with the three of them. And they were really, really fucking funny. When they used to run around on being the elite all the time, that was funny. But him by himself, nah, he can stay in the back.
Yeah, maybe they won't overdo it, and maybe he'll just come out every now and then. just to be the yang to the elite's yang. But some people's fear was that they would just drop the storyline after Double or Nothing and have Elite lose, but they're continuing it. So,
oh no, this storyline ain't going anywhere. This is the most intriguing that the Bucks have been since AEW started, and honestly, it's the most intriguing Jack Perry's been since AEW started. And then we got Okada in there telling everybody to shut up, bitches. Like,
yeah, and then we still don't know how Adam Page is going to react when he comes back.
Oh, he's definitely joining back with them.
I mean, he does hate Swerve, so that would make the most sense.
Yeah. Unless they're going to try to do something stupid where he's mad at the Elite, so he's going to team with the guy that threatened his baby.
Or maybe he get it's on site for everybody. Maybe he don't just roll by himself.
He's too sensitive for all
that. We'll see.
Other thing that happened on AEW is new number one contender at Forbidden Door was not announced. He won the match. Will Ospreay and Swerve are fighting at Forbidden Door already. So, like, the question I have, EJ, is everybody assumed that Ospreay was just going to get the world title at All In London, and Swerve was just kind of a placeholder.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this has got to be the main event. Are you just going to have Swerve beat Ospreay, or are you going to have Ospreay take the title from Swerve a month and a half, 2 months after he gets it? Like, I think this is way too early, but I am intrigued. And honestly, as much as I love Ospreay, I want to see Swerve beat him.
It's a lot to unpack with this. First of all, it kind of caught me off guard that Ospreay won that match because I like the match concept, the casino gauntlet match.
Yeah, it's right on time for a Vegas trip.
Yeah, exactly. But they just did it like a month ago. Why don't they have it? It's like kind of like their Royal Rumble and do it once a year. But who knows? And then Ospreay won both of them. So it kind of caught me off guard. But it's good when everything's not so predictable.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. It's a little bit too soon, I thought, to pull the trigger on that because everybody assumed, like you said, it's supposed to be at All In. But I don't think you could do that. Have the belt off of Swerve so soon. You got to have him go over. Now, what I'm intrigued in is if they're going to 50-50 book it, have Ospreay challenge at All In, or they're just going to go a different route and just have Ospreay build that international title up. Because if it were my decision, since they already did it, I have him lose against Swerve and just have him do his own thing at All In. Build the title up, maybe come back to it next year or something.
Well, they did announce right after WWE announced that the King and Queen of the Ring winners would get a shot at SummerSlam. AEW announced that the winners of the Owen Hart Cup will get title shots at All In. So the men and the women will both have Owen Hart Cup championship title opportunities. So the way I see it happening is Don Callis costing Ospreay the title, somebody in his family, and him kind of beefing with them as he wins the Owen Hart Cup and then goes and wins the title at All In. Will that be against Swerve? Who knows? But I feel like Don Callis and his family are going to fuck him over finally, where he can get separated from them. He can have a beef with them to catch the what's my brand's name? Kyle Fletcher, and even the best friend,
Trent.
Yeah. So those are all good matches he could do. He could run through them on his way to going to the Owen Hart Championship Cup and then getting the title, or at least a title shot at All In. But yeah, I feel like, I don't know, like they're throwing Ospreay out there to like have all his matches right now. And I feel like nothing's like being held for him. Like he's already wrestled Takeshita. He's already wrestled Bryan Danielson. Now he's wrestling the world champion. Like ain't nothing going to be left for him. Maybe he's on that schedule where he's only got a year contract. Like we were talking about Becky, and Tony Khan's like, shit, I'm about to get my money's worth out this motherfucker.
Maybe they'll surprise us and go a different direction. If you have Ospreay go over Swerve just for the sake of having them get a pop over there. And what are you doing with Swerve? Like, kind of cutting his legs off, and they're kind of in a conundrum with like the top being a little bit crowded. And this is why a hard roster split wouldn't be such a bad thing. Get rid of one of those ridiculous belts like the Continental Crown or the International, merge those together, put two mid-card belts on, one on Collision, one on Dynamite, and give like a heavyweight belt for Collision. And because you got MJF back, like what's he gonna do? Not be in the title picture?
I mean, wrestling's worked for years with having a bunch of main eventers and only one title. You know, you had Stone Cold, The Rock, Kurt Angle, Triple H. Like, you had all these guys running around at the same time. Undertaker, you only had one belt. They made it work. You just got to be creative. You know, everybody doesn't have to have a year-long title run. You know, The Rock traded the title with Mick Foley like 4 times in between Royal Rumble or in between Survivor Series and the show at the Super Bowl. And he lost the belt to Kurt Angle in like the summertime, and then he won it back at No Way Out and held the title for a month before he lost it to Stone Cold. Like, The Rock's one of the biggest stars ever. None of his title reigns went more than like 4 months, I don't think.
That's the roster was a lot smaller back then. I feel like they've been having 2 belts since 2002 for 22 years now. But I guess you could point to a better example would be probably like the WCW. Their roster was bloated and they only had 1 heavyweight belt. I don't know how they were able to pull it off.
Hogan kept it all the fucking time too. Like, it was always on Hogan.
Yeah, that's true. And I don't know if that really helped some of the other guys, but a lot of them were still over. DDP was still over.
Yeah,
they had the storyline with Sting. Luger was always lurking around. Who else? Nash was Hogan's lap boy, so he wasn't really in the title picture until later on.
But I mean, everybody you just named was a world champion, so they still made it work.
Yeah,
Sting's kind of like The Rock, also. Like, Sting's my guy, so I was always watching, but none of his title runs ever lasted long. Like, I think his longest run was probably 6 months.
Yeah, but I think you could get away with it back before the internet age. People would be complaining about it too much if you just did it every month.
I'm not saying do it every month, and this is where your wrestlers have to be professional and not, and I hate to say it like this because I'm not a wrestler, but this is what I've heard other wrestlers say. Don't be a mark for yourself and a mark for the belt. Like, know what you're there for. You're there to make money. You're not there to quote unquote be the champion all the time. You still get paid. Like, so if Tony Khan comes to you and is like, all right, we're gonna put the belt on you, but you're only gonna have it for like a month. Okay, cool. I was the world champion for a month. I'm still gonna put on good matches. Because they have to do it where, because right now, when you win a title in AEW, it's like, all right, you're gonna have the title at least 4 months. Like, I think that's the shortest reign that they've had. There's been a year, there's been 6, 8 months. Like, Jericho, I think, had it forever. So it's like they don't have any title runs that are, like I said, The Rock won it No Way Out, the pay-per-view before WrestleMania, and then turned around and lost it at WrestleMania. A month. What a Rock. Are you telling me fucking Adam Page can't have it for a month, or Ospreay or Okada or one of these guys can't have a month-long reign, or they get buried? Like, get the fuck. I'm not talking about you saying, I'm just saying, like, the people that would say that, like, go fuck yourself.
And that's the thing. Like, of course, you're gonna hit a fan say it. My gripe is with people in the media going on their podcasts or their radio shows and saying it, and that spreads to people and getting people's psyche.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's getting buried, and then it's just whack to me.
I don't know. I think Tony Khan needs to. And I don't know the guy. I don't know any backstage stuff, but I feel like the way he does things is a big time reaction to what he sees on the internet.
That could be a good thing sometimes, but it could also be a bad thing. So
the internet
depends what you're talking about specifically.
I mean, we've talked about this before. Internet fans are not the fans that are paying money to go see your company, because you can listen to what the internet says about WWE's product, and then you listen to what the crowd that are actually there is saying, and they're continuing to sell out, and they're continuing to have box office records broken and all that. But on the internet, people say WWE's in the mud right now. And it's the same with AEW. Like, you can't listen to the fucking popular AEW haters just because they got a big following. Like, none of these motherfuckers, they don't even have an avatar in real face. Like, these people aren't real. They don't go to shows. You got to start booking for TV and for pay-per-views and not for the internet. Like, I don't know. I just feel like he would do something like that, and as soon as people started bitching about it, he wouldn't do it again. And I think you need to be more unpredictable, and you need to, in the UFC, EJ, Misha Tate won the fucking UFC title. I don't even think she had one title defense.
Nope.
She was chasing that belt the whole time it was there. She finally won it. Her first title defense, she got her ass kicked. How many UFC and boxers finally win the title in their first defense? They get their ass whooped. It happens.
Yeah, but everybody knows this isn't shoot. Everybody knows this is scripted.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, it's simulated combat sports. So if in real combat sports you get your ass whooped your fake first title defense, why can't you in pro wrestling?
It'd be good for not having everything so predictable. I agree with that. But what I will give AEW is, as far as their world title picture, it doesn't seem like they ever try to force the issue with they having their like chosen one that they got to force the strap on. I guess you could say Jericho, but he was getting the company started. WWE is kind of moving away from that, but like not a lot of people were hopping with Damian Priest getting the world title, and it's been fine so far, I guess. But
He's basically Rhea Ripley.
How?
He's defended the title. What? Has he defended it at all?
Oh, yeah. I thought you meant as far as how the fans were reacting to him. Yeah, he is Rhea Ripley with his title defense.
Yeah, he's got garters on his butt cheeks now, like the whole nine. He's Rhea Ripley. Same eyeliner.
Yeah.
Taking over the Judgment Day. Has he had the title defense yet?
Jay.
Oh yeah, he did. He defended against Jay at that pay-per-view.
I think that's about it.
Did he cheat to win? Yeah, he cheated, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, they came out and kept cheating for him. But yeah, I feel like, I don't know. I don't mind Priest having it, but we all know, like, it's really Drew's gonna win or Punk's gonna cost Drew the belt, and whoever has it going into SummerSlam, Gunther's gonna beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
So, you know, WWE might have a hot potato world title for the next few months. Like, I could see Drew winning it, and then I could see Punk coming back and winning it, and I could see Gunther whooping his ass at SummerSlam. I don't know if Punk can take a Gunther ass whooping though.
Nah, he'd get injured. But the reason why people won't complain as much if they do that with the world titles, because they got another world title. So that's what I'm saying. So it's like damn if you do and damn if you don't. AEW with long title reigns, but only having one. Because like you said, I wouldn't be mad at it if it makes sense storyline wise too to, you know, have a shorter title reign. But like what I got Swerve, like if he loses it all in, he won it at Dynasty, that's 3-4 months. That's not too bad.
No.
But then only thing I'll be worried about is where would they go with him after that. If they have something planned, then cool. You'll eventually get back to the title. But if he's just lingering around, then what's the point?
Moxley and
he's a 3-time.
Moxley and Punk are the only multiple time champions.
Yeah, and Punk and Moxley's 3-time.
Yeah.
Punk is 2.
So winning the title in AEW and losing it, you don't necessarily, I mean, and look at Hangman's still a star. Jericho's sadly still a star. Omega's hurt, but he's still a star. Samoa Joe's fine. Like, they have a history of the guys that are losing the title still being kept relevant. I don't think when you lose the title, you necessarily have to get it again within the next year or so, unless the storyline calls for it.
That's true. But with Ospreay, I think he would be fine. I do think, you know, like you said, they're doing a lot of matches with him soon. I think it'd be fine if they did it your plan. If he were to lose at Forbidden Door, then go in the tournament. But I don't know. Would there be a little fatigue if he's just winning everything like that? And he wins the Owen Cup tournament too, and win the belt at All In.
I think having Swerve beat him at Forbidden Door would stop that, because then he'd be on a journey to try to get back and get the title again. And I think Swerve beating Ospreay would fucking send Swerve right to the top. I really do. I don't think anybody would expect it. And I think it would make him that much bigger of a star.
Especially, yeah, if it's a banger match. But like you said, if they had that cheating thing, would that, make people look at it a little bit more differently? If he were to have interference or something crazy. Because then people were like, he didn't beat Ospreay clean.
And there you go. And there's the cause for everybody to cheer for Ospreay to win the Owen Cup because they want to see another good match with them and a clean winner.
Yeah.
And then Swerve beats him again.
that'd be dope. But it's good to have talking points and not know what they're gonna do. So I guess we have to, sit back and enjoy what they got for us this summer.
Yeah. Friday Night SmackDown, again, I didn't watch it. I just saw clips of it. And AJ Styles did his best Mark Henry impersonation. They basically did it bar for bar too. Like, I was seeing screen caps of it, and it's basically the same fucking thing. But why was Cody even out there? I didn't see that. Did Cody come out there to like cheer him on or something, or did he call Cody out there?
I watched it, but I can't remember if he called him out there or he just came out on his own accord. He may have just came out there. If I'm not mistaken, I may be wrong.
Oh, gullible ass.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind the title coming off of Cody like sooner than later.
I wouldn't either. But is this gonna wear off soon? The luster off of Cody gonna wear off soon? Because right now he's like a gullible, like pushover champion. That happened a couple weeks ago. He let Logan Paul pull a fast one on him with not having his title on the line. So you think people just not gonna care because they like Cody, or you think they're gonna like catch up with him just being gullible and a pushover?
I mean, you would think with all those big ass words he tries to use that he's smarter than that.
Apparently not, though. He fell for AJ's trap, even though everybody saw it coming from a mile away.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I've watched a lot less of SmackDown now that the Bloodline are kind of, I mean, you got Solo and God doing their thing, but without Roman and the Usos. And I like Cody. Like, I'm a big Cody fan. I say this all the time. I feel like I always have to defend myself because I'm critical of it. But I just don't think Cody's on the level that Roman was. And that's why I didn't think he was the guy to beat him. I mean, I don't think anybody's on the level that Roman was, but I just didn't feel like Cody was the right guy to win. Now, 70-something thousand people will tell you different. WWE's fucking checkbook will tell you different. But in my opinion, Cody wasn't the guy to beat Roman. That was supposed to be somebody within the family. And I think it's kind of coming. I just don't feel like Cody's as hot as he was going into WrestleMania.
I mean, he's not. But you had to eventually do it. Whoever was going to take the belt off of Cody wasn't going to be as big. I mean, off of Roman wasn't going to be as big as him. I mean, I know you wanted Jay to do it, but Jay is not on the level of Roman either, even though it would have made sense storyline-wise a little bit more. But somebody had to do it, and I knew this was going to happen once Cody got the belt off it. Your story's done now, and he's proven my point so far. But like you said, they're still doing numbers, and he's still selling out shows and moving merch. So what do I know? But let's have this conversation again a year later.
Yeah. But yeah, he is coming off like a bit of a gullible champ, like trying to be too good of a guy all the time. Like, honestly, maybe they are gonna turn Cody heel. Maybe he's gonna get fucked over one too many times, and that fucking Bullet Club Cody's gonna come out, which I really hope they do.
I don't see that happening until 2025 or 6 is at the earliest. No, 25 next year. 2026. I can't see that happening until 2026 at the earliest.
Wouldn't it be great if it was like a heel Cody versus a babyface Rock next year? Like if they were able to swing that shit around.
That would be the irony.
That'd be so WWE manipulating things to like that would be great, honestly. But
one other thing. This is a side note. He said, Solo, you said you didn't watch all of SmackDown. He was talking to Paul Heyman, and he said something about they were talking about the tribal chief or something. He said something about we. And I don't know if anybody else caught that, but he wasn't talking about like God. He was talking as we. I can't remember the context, or I'll give you a clear picture. Basically, I don't know if he was alluding to it being the Rock involved
or Roman.
No, because Heyman was talking about did Roman approve this? And he was like, Solo's like, we got approval or something like that. So maybe they're finally planting seeds the Rock, maybe being the head of this new bloodline.
I know they're gonna have to be careful with how long they're stretching this shit out because people are gonna lose interest in not knowing like what the plan is and shit like that. Like I know Roman's out for a while, and I don't know. Everybody's penciling in Roman and the Usos getting back together. We don't know how injured Jimmy is. Jay's talking about winning the fucking Money in the Bank. So I don't know, man. Like, and honestly, where Jay is right now, like, can you even put him back in the bloodline as like the right-hand man taking orders and shit?
Yeah.
Really?
It's more so like a partnership. If you have Roman, the leader, but not like a tyrannical leader, and kind of like DX, Triple H, and DX, the Outlaws.
I don't know. I don't think Jay can go back to just being a side character anymore. Like, dude is way too over for that.
You can make it work. The Shield got back together.
If he cools off, yeah, but the Shield didn't have Roman as the fucking tyrannical leader. They didn't have anybody as the leader. They were just three motherfuckers that whooped ass. There was no leader. I don't know.
They eventually bought Evolution back together. I guess you could say it didn't really work the second time, but they still did it.
That was a good feud with them and the Shield, though.
Nah, I wasn't really watching. That's something I got to go back and watch.
Man, it was really good how that happened because Batista was supposed to win the world title at WrestleMania, so they had to pivot because everybody was freaking out about Daniel Bryan, and some kind of way they ended up. And this was a long storyline too because the Shield were working for the Authority, and eventually the whole roster jumped the Shield. They got tired of the Shield whooping everybody's ass, so the whole roster beat the shit out of them. So then the Shield came out one SmackDown and just started like running up on motherfuckers, like whooping their ass. And they ended up fighting Kane. Who was it? It was Kane. It was a three-way of people that worked for the Authority. And then the night after WrestleMania, when Daniel Bryan won, Kane was like, y'all think y'all are so smart. Who do you think told everybody to beat y'all's ass? And Triple H was like, what the fuck are you doing? And Roman speared the fuck out of, I think he speared Triple H. And that's how the whole fucking thing started. And Triple H ended up getting Randy Orton and Batista back together to fight the Shield. Like, it was a whole like woven storyline that you didn't even know was happening at the time. And then when you like paid attention, it's like, oh shit, like they thought this shit out a long time ago. And the Shield was so fucking hot back then. And then of course the night after they beat Evolution, Seth Rollins turned on them.
What an interesting time for the company back then, because you still had like it was like the crossroads in between. You still had Attitude Era and Ruthless Aggression lingering around with this. I don't even know what era you call it, the New Breed. And they were all like intertwined with each other.
Yeah, it was a really good storyline because I was a big Shield guy back then too. Like I've been a fan of Roman ever since. I didn't too much like Rollins then back then. I liked Ambrose, but Roman was always my guy back then. So the Shield was like. And when they started whooping ass like that was just dope. Anyway, we got way off topic. Cody's gullible. Moving along. Speaking of moving along, you know what else is moving along, EJ?
What's that?
Liv Morgan Revenge Tour. Ooh, woo.
Yeah. I mean, storyline is pretty intriguing at this time because we still don't know where Dom allegiance, lies. I like the fact that Liv switched her character up. She's just not some character that's just there, just a baby face, happy to be there. We could all say now she's a heel. But I mean,
Little harlot.
yeah, I know, right? So right now I'm digging it. I mean, I'm still not completely sold on her on the mic, but right now the storyline is working for me, so I'm intrigued.
She retired Becky Lynch, she said on Monday. Early retirement.
That was pretty funny.
I like this. I like this whole storyline. She had Dom out there fighting for his life last night.
Oh man, that man looked like he was a whore in church.
But yeah, I'm digging Liv, man. I honestly I think I don't know what way the storyline's gonna go, but obviously I hope her and Dom end up together and Rhea's the babyface. And I guess the only if they're trying to get Priest to turn babyface, he could be the one that helps Rhea with Dom and Liv, and maybe Finn and JD side with Dominic. I don't know, but they're gonna have to do something. They're gonna have to. The rubber's got to meet the road pretty soon with this storyline. But I feel like
You think so? I think they could drag this all the way out until SummerSlam if they want.
they probably have to because who knows how hurt Rhea is. But I'm saying when they make the decision, when they make it, it's got to be the right one, and who knows what the right one is. Kind of like who beats Roman, you know? They gave it to Cody. Is that the right decision? Who knows? But yeah, I'm digging the Liv Morgan revenge tour right now. I think she's fresh. It ain't just Becky or Rhea or Bianca or Bayley or Charlotte like it's been. And yeah, Liv was champion once before, but it was never as intriguing as this is. So I'm excited to see where it goes.
So I think Balor will be all right because Judgment Day is going to eventually implode. They're not going to be together by the end of the year. Dom's going to be all right. He still got nuclear heat. I'm a little worried about JD, and I'm a lot of worried about Damian Priest. I just don't see it, man. Unless he turns back heel somehow. I don't see him as a babyface. I'm sorry.
He's too big to be a babyface.
Yeah. And like if they do break up the Judgment Day, you can't have him still running around like a certain dead man they say he is. As far as I'm not gonna repeat it here. Everybody knows the joke out there. What kind of Mark Calloway? What kind of Mark Calloway he is? But yeah, he'd have to switch it up. He can't if he's gonna like you said, he's too big to be.
What your name is?
Oh, you heard it?
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, like you said, he's too big to be walking around like a baby face, and he can't just hold on to the Judgment Day gimmick if he's a heel. So like, I just don't really see it. He had a little momentum when he was tagging up with Bad Bunny like 3 years ago almost now. But he was kind of just lingering before he got into Judgment Day, and I feel like he's one of those guys that needs a faction to kind of prop him up. I don't know if he could do it by himself. I don't know. I don't know what your thoughts on it are.
Well, with that same token, what about Rhea? She was never as over as she was until she got into Judgment Day. Like that turned her whole career around. Like, no, I mean, she was cool, but no, she wasn't like this.
But
that's the Dom effect.
That was a Dom effect, and she used it to propel herself. And I feel like Damian really hasn't. They kind of just put the money in the bank on him and whatnot. It's not like fans were clamoring for him to be like a money in the bank winner and be a world champion. You could tell, even though you might not be the biggest Rhea fan, you can't deny it, the fans will. Whatever purpose, whatever reasons they have it, it's not all wrestling reasons, but she got herself over. I just don't really feel like Damian Priest is over like that.
Yeah, Priest is definitely not over like Rhea, but that was my thought. When Judgment Day breaks up, she's gonna have to swim by herself now instead of having other people to lean on, which is the same thing you're saying about Priest. So I don't know. I think it'll be a challenge for both of them. I do agree though. I think when Judgment Day is over and they got to go by themselves, like it's gonna be harder. Like You know, they had the WWE's got the right formula. Look what they did with Jay.
Yeah,
Who would have thought leaving the bloodline, he would be a bigger star than he was in the bloodline?
yeah. Sometimes the stars align and you got something fans latch onto. Like you said, you don't know if Rhea's gonna swim. I think she will, just because she's gonna keep leaning into the people in their basements and throw out stuff, thirst traps out, and leaning into her microwave, ending it with mommies on top, and fans are gonna pop for that. So I think she'll be fine.
Back to the Liv Morgan Revenge Tour.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm Dominic, I'm like, who? Rhea, who?
Yeah, I mean, most red-blooded male. I don't know. Rhea has like a cult following. But
yeah,
I'm on the same page as you. Like if I'm Dom, I'm like Rhea, who?
There ain't many women in the wrestling world that you could be with, and Liv Morgan's like, hey, come over here with me, and you're like, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna go home.
Definitely not Rhea. I have people on my list, maybe, but subject for another day.
Yeah, I mean, we're not being any type of way either. Like that's what the storyline is right now. We're just talking about the storyline.
Yeah.
You exactly. Got a man trying to decide in between two women, which gets
up
street clothes wrestler of the week. Dominic Mysterio, because the boy got the juice. I don't know what he was wearing, but that shit was working for him.
Dom definitely looks compromised right now. I mean, they gotta have him go with Liv. That only makes sense. How much heat both of them would get if he screws over Rhea and Rhea comes back to triumphant babyface.
I mean, storyline wise, like we ain't never seen Dom and Rhea making out on TV, but Liv Morgan made out with him already.
And she's single in real life, but this man's married. I bet his wife back home.
Storyline wise,
I know his wife back home. I know it's a storyline, but he probably still getting shit back home.
She's like, shit, I'd have kissed Liv too.
Maybe, but yeah, he's definitely got to tap into those acting chops. Make sure he don't get too excited out there.
I don't think it's. For what they asking him to do. I don't think he's got to tap too hard into it. Just fucking let it be natural.
It's unprofessional, man. He's got to be professional.
I mean,
just let it natural. Just let it natural. Yeah. Nobody wants to see Dom out there pitching a tent.
You just got to tape it to your leg. I meant like his reactions and stuff like that. Just let it be natural. Like in real life, he probably wants to live. So just act like it.
You can't put that. He might love his wife, man.
I mean, of course he does. Obviously,
so he might want
attracted to live. That shit's easy for him. Act like you. They told him act like you're married, and if this girl's flirting with you, and you're trying to fucking turn her down, and he's like, "That's really what's happening."
Yeah, real life.
We'll do that. Act like your wife is watching.
Okay. Yeah. She's single in real life, so she could
she tried to slide that tongue in there.
Yeah. She could lean into it as much as she want.
Dom had his mouth closed. She's like,
He's a little bit younger too. She can maybe show him some things.
They're about the same age, aren't they?
Oh, Liv's like pushing 30. Dom is like what, late 90s?
Liv might be 30.
A little bit. I ain't say a whole lot older.
Yeah, she might be 30.
Those 3 years, so she might have learned some things in those extra 3 years she's been on the planet.
Not from Bo Dallas. Street clothes of the week. Who's your guy or woman?
Who? I think I went first last week. Who you got?
I picked Dom.
Pick Dom? What was he even wearing?
I don't know, but the shit was working for him. Yeah, he had Liv in the. She came out there saving him from Braun Strowman.
Well, my street clothes wrestler of the week, probably one of the most entertaining shows this past week. I got Miss Get It Sexy. Got Sexy Red as my street clothes.
She's not even a wrestler.
Street clothes person of the week. It's a special occasion.
Is that a real tattoo on her face?
Yeah, it is. That's what the kids do. They get the face tattoos. The Gen Zers.
She had Shawn Michaels rolling around like he knew who she was all over social media.
That old head ain't no. inkling of who she was.
I saw she posted a video of him and her in the car, and they were singing his theme song. And Triple H retweeted and said, "Thank God he didn't start twerking."
It's hilarious. It's hilarious. Shawn Michaels, he tapping into culture. That Kendrick Lamar referenced them in those diss tracks. Like,
did he really?
Yeah, he said talking about Sweet Chin Music. He ain't gone past the ox. I don't hear Bret Hart getting any references in songs.
Man, you don't listen to country music.
Okay. Point taken.
Bret Hart was on fucking Little House on the Prairie or some shit like that, wasn't it? What was it? Lonesome Dove. That's what Bret Hart was on.
That a TV show?
Yeah, way back in the day. It's before your time.
I have no clue what that is.
Yeah.
Bret Hart was also on The Simpsons, but this was 30 plus years ago.
They ain't have Shawn Michaels on The Simpsons.
Man, he was on other few things. He was on a Playgirl. He was on Playgirl.
Yeah, exactly. Little slut.
Heartbreak Kid, man.
What we got left? We ain't really got much left. Power rankings. That's gonna be difficult this week because I ain't watch a lot of wrestling.
You never write them down anyway.
Yeah, but I didn't watch any matches this week. I'm just gonna go off of power.
Well, I'll get it kicked off. You didn't even watch Raw last night, huh? You were commenting on Raw. You did watch Raw.
What did I say on Raw? Oh no, I just saw Liv Morgan. I didn't really see anything else. I watched the Jey Uso thing today. I did watch Raw. I fast forward through Raw.
Well, my number 5 on my power rankings. Won her first match on the main roster. Rucker's a fan of her. I got Miss Kiana James at my number 5 spot.
I'm more a fan of Fallon Henley, but yeah. I'll do AOP. They beat the New Day.
I don't know what they're gonna do with. I guess Woods is gonna turn on Kofi and join them. I don't know.
Man, we've been predicting the fucking, not we as in me and you, but like we as in wrestling community have been predicting the New Day breaking up for like years. I'll believe it when I see it. I probably won't believe it when I see it.
And new management, so maybe Paul Levesque will pull a trigger. Who knows?
I think the New Day should just go down in history as the only faction that never turned on each other.
Did the Freebirds ever turn on each other? I don't know why they popped in my head.
I'm sure they did. Michael Hayes couldn't be trusted.
Yeah. But I think it'd be intriguing if they did. So I guess we'll have to see.
Yeah. My number 4 would be Mercedes Moné. No, she'll be higher than that because she beat Sky Blue also last week. Who would my number 4 be? My number 4 is going to be Trent Beretta.
Ooh, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah. Joined up with the Don Callis family. This is as intriguing as he's been. My question is Statlander going to be still running with them too? Because she's I like her and Stokely as heels, by the way.
Yeah.
I saw both of their little backstage things, and what did Stokely say? None of them bitches in the back. What something about bitches in the back?
Yeah. He said, I'm not even talking about the women.
Yeah, I ain't talking about the women.
Yeah, that was funny. No, I would like her to be more so affiliate of Don Callis, not to officially join them. Have her and Stokely be like their own thing.
Yeah. But yeah, I got Trent Beretta.
Like you said, this is the most intriguing he's been, but just for tugging moment, I thought him and Chuck Taylor would have got a tag team title run because they're like originals, but I guess it wasn't meant to be. I guess
they've both been hurt off and on, and I think Chuck's hurt toward the point where he's got to retire.
I thought they were just doing that storyline. He's really that hurt?
I think he's that hurt where he's got to retire. I could be wrong, but I thought that's what I read somewhere.
Well, I guess they wanted to go out a bang because that last match that he had, they were doing glass and backstage brawling. That was like 3 weeks or so ago.
Yeah, it's probably why, because he was too hurt to do an actual match. They could hide it with that kind of stuff.
Oh, Well, if that is it for him, wish him a speedy recovery and hopefully he can live a normal life. My number 4, I know you skimmed over SmackDown, but my number 4 is Bloodline. I guess technically it's GOD, but they're not called that in WWE. They got a win over the Street Profits.
Yeah. It was weird to see all 4 of them dressed in red. Like, did they not get together before the match?
Just not.
They're all wearing red and black. Like, you can't fight the Bloodline. I blame the Street Profits on that. You can't fight the Bloodline and wear red and black. It's Bloodline colors.
And they have, like, I remember when they switched over to SmackDown 3 or 4 years ago, or how many, whatever, they finally, because remember they were doing those backstage Raw segments, and then they finally got drafted to SmackDown. When they switched over, they switched the cups blue and they switched the outfits blue. Why wouldn't they just wear those outfits?
I don't know. It's like when you're playing Madden and y'all both pick the fucking away jerseys.
So annoying.
And they're too much of the same color. You got to reset it.
Yeah, like you said, I don't know why they did that, but yeah, I have the Bloodline and they got the win over Street Profits. And are they going to get a tag team name, or are they just going to be the Bloodline? I know they can't use. We were debating whether they could use the GOD name in music, but apparently not. I guess
they're just a Bloodline.
So and when the real Bloodline comes back, they're going to do Wolfpack Bloodline in Hollywood.
Bloodline Rock and Bloodline, or Bloodline Final Boss and Bloodline Tribal Chief.
I hope they got a little better creative than that, but
yeah.
My number 3, even though I was kind of talking shit about this guy, I got the World Heavyweight Champion Damian Priest beat Rey Mysterio in the main event. It was a non-title match, but still beat him. So I got Damian Priest at number 3.
My number 3 is All Ego Ethan Page showed up on NXT, attacked Trick Williams, and I'm pretty sure he's going to get a world title match pretty soon. And what a surprise that was. And it's actually my number 3 is a 2-way. Jordan Grace also was showing up on NXT last week.
So that brings me to another conversation. You know, people, it's just people on the internet, not people in real life. They're like, what is AEW doing with Ethan Page and whatnot? But some people are just meant to be mid-carders. He might get a NXT title shot, and NXT is a nice spot for him. When he gets to the main roster, what's the ceiling? A mid-carder, he just probably get paid the same. So people just got to know. What's that?
Honestly, he'll probably be better off just staying in NXT. Like,
exactly.
You know what I mean?
And like some people, you just got to play a role. Because did you see the report on Andrade?
No.
So he's been commenting online and complaining about his position in the company. I thought the grass was supposed to be greener back on the WWE side. So I'll give him one thing.
Complaining already?
Yeah, I'll give him. But we'll get into my point in a second. But like, what do you expect? I mean, I'll give him this though, because he might, I don't know how much he's getting paid in WWE, but probably not more than he was in AEW. At least he has his wife with him, so you can't blame him for going back for his wife. But he is what it is. Like, I knew this was gonna happen. Like, he wasn't gonna be in a world title picture. He's a good hand. There's nothing bad with that.
Yeah, not everybody's meant to be the world champion. And again, like we were talking about earlier, wrestlers have to kind of know their place. Like, not everybody's Cody, not everybody's Roman. You know what I mean? Like, they're already top heavy, and you couldn't make it as a main eventer in AEW. So going to NXT, I think, is a good thing for him. Like, I think he could, if he stays in NXT for like a year and a half, he could probably be champion. But as soon as you get called up, you just got to know, like, you're just going to be the guy that loses U.S. title matches every now and then.
Yeah, and back to the Andrade situation, and he was I don't know the whole, because I just skimmed it. He was like commenting how good his matches were in AEW. You were just over there. Why you only been back in the WWE? If you wanted to have good matches, why didn't you just stay over there?
Yeah, and it's not like he had been in WWE already. Like he knows how the shit works.
Yeah, so like I already, but we've had this conversation before. Him, like the Malachi Blacks, the Keith Lees, uh, maybe I missed maybe one, even like an Adam Cole. I think Adam Cole would be a little bit better in WWE system, but all of those like guys that people like they should be world champ, the Claudios, it's just not gonna be those guys, and it is what it is. Either what, no matter what company you're in. So, but that's enough on my little side tangent. That was your number 2. You said was Jordan and Eagle.
No, that was my number 3. Was a tie
Okay.
with them. Is it my turn or yours still?
I already reeled off my 3, 4, and 5.
All right. Well, my number 2 is. I was gonna put her at number 1, but she'll go to number 2. Mercedes Moné. She got a big win over Sky Blue. Wrestled on free TV, if you can call that free. She's got to come up with a different move.
She hit it pretty well on Sky Blue. She didn't on Willow.
So maybe I'm confused as to what the move is supposed to be. I thought she spins them around and gives them a DDT. That looked more like she gave her a code breaker. Like the one she hit on Sky Blue, it looked more like a code breaker she did.
Maybe she switched it up because it was harder to do a DDT.
Maybe she should just get a different move. Like, why do something so complicated that everybody can't do right? Like, it's just driving the fans to be like, she ain't even that good. Look at the botch move, botch. Shut the fuck up.
I thought that was one of the best matches of last week.
Oh, it was. But again, the finisher. I love how they got to it. The transition of Sky Blue trying to hit her. I don't know. I was gonna say Pop Rocks. That's not the name of her move, but whatever Sky Blue's finishing move is that she jumps on their back. That was a good little counter to it. But it was just the execution of the finishing move itself. It could just be me. Maybe I'm the only one that doesn't like it, but I feel like she could do a better move.
Why can't she just go back to throwing the code breaker and the bank statement, whatever she used to do?
Motherfuckers in AEW don't want to tap out.
Well, like you said, maybe she could, keep it simple, stupid, and dial it back a little.
Yeah.
I don't know how you happen to have my number 2, because I actually wrote mine out ahead of time. I had Mercedes Moné at number 2. Nothing really to add on what you said. That was one of my favorite matches of last week. Her and Sky Blue. You have people complaining about them not building it up, having it next week. Why do you have to drag everything along like that? It's not like it was like her versus Britt Baker. It's Sky Blue. Sky Blue still on her come up.
I like how they did how they tied the story together, because I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be either Willow or Statlander, but Willow. Who got hurt? No, I think it was supposed to be Julia Hart. Mm-hmm. Julia Hart got hurt. So having it be Sky Blue, at least they tied the story together, because honestly, like, it was just kind of out there, like who attacked her, and it just went away. So I'm glad they did tie it up. And I don't know if I agree with. I felt like it should have been an eliminator match instead of a championship match. Like, hey, I jumped you with the lights out like 3 months ago, so give me a title shot. But it is what it is. She got to the bottom of it. She beat her, so whatever.
And my number 1 is the aerial assassin, Will Ospreay. Won the Casino Battle Royal, and then in the main event of Collision, him and Kyle O'Reilly put on a bang of a match in the main event. Went 30 minutes.
On a Saturday night.
Saturday night.
You guys wasn't watching that on Saturday? Oh, you said you watched it at work.
I watched it yesterday. I had it on in the background at work.
Yeah, it's a marathon on a Saturday.
I didn't have no time to watch that this past Saturday, but caught up to it. So Will Ospreay.
Yeah, I got Ospreay as well, but Kyle O'Reilly is basically what you were talking about with like Ethan Page and Andrade. Like, he can wrestle, people cheer for him, but Kyle O'Reilly's got to know he's never going to be the world champion in AEW. But he can come out there and have really good matches with Will Ospreay, make a good living, and go on about his business in 10 years.
Yeah, so if you just want to go out there and wrestle and just stay put, you're probably making equal pay. But for other reasons, if you want to tell more stories, but WWE is doing a better job of telling stories with the mid carder. So if you want to tell more stories, then go over there and get paid and whatever floats your boat, whatever flavor you like.
Yep. Well, EJ, that's another wrap on another great episode of Boot to the Face. I'll shout out everybody that's listening. Shout out to everybody that downloads us and shares our content. Glad to be back on a regularly scheduled podcasting day. Try to get this sound stuff worked out. But you got anything you want to say before we get up out of here?
Like always, shout out to everybody listening and follow on all the platforms: IG, X, Spotify, Apple, YouTube, and whatnot. Yes, sir.
Well, for EJ Reed, I'm Chris Rucker. This has been Boot to the Face. See you next week. Peace.
Leg drop, boot to the face, we won't fold. Quick to put a dude in